after 24 years, Dr. Dre and his wife are getting a divorce. Nicole Young, who is his wife, actually filed for divorce, and there is no prenup in place, allegedly. Now, this is what's being reported. And $800 million is up for grabs right now because that is what allegedly Dr. Dre is worth.
This is kind of crazy. Because I know you don't want to go into a marriage thinking that it's going to falter or something. It's kind of hard for a man to present a prenuptial agreement. But in situations like this, I'm sure you wish you had done that. Not to say
No. Okay, finish your thought. Go ahead.
Because it's like a lot of times women are liking a prenup. They're liking that to a man saying, I'm going to cheat on you or it's not going to work or something like that. But that's not the case. When you get in a car, you don't put on a seatbelt because you know you're finna get into an accident. You just put that on as a safety measure, just in case something happens. A prenuptial agreement is not to take away from our love. It's just saying, look, if we get into an accident, I got this seatbelt on, just in case you don't get crazy.
Yeah, I think it goes both ways as well. Like, if I give my mate a prenuptial agreement, it's not that I'm trying to cheat on them. It's nothing like that. I do recognize depending on what you did before you actually met this person. I know Dr. Dre had a slew of things that he had already done before he met his current wife. And I'm sure he wanted to protect his assets, but he didn't. If this is actually true, he wanted to share with her. He definitely felt like, listen, we're in this for the long run, and it's been 24 years. At the end of the day, do you think that she was not into or in on some of these conversations and these huge deals that he's made thus far?
Listen, I'm not. And that's always a sticky conversation too.
It definitely is a sticky conversation. Luckily, it doesn't look like it was like a nasty divorce or anything like that. Again, news just broke. We don't know what's going on. But at the end of the day, like after 24 years, I'm still going to want you to be well. You know what I mean? And he's been doing this for 24 years. But now she is a lawyer. Now she works as a lawyer currently. This is what sources are telling me. She does work as a lawyer right now. So she actually is probably doing well, but she is seeking spousal support. The children that they do have are adults, so of course not child support is not even in the picture. I think that prenuptial agreements are more prevalent now than it was back in the day. Like back in the day, I don't think no one was getting prenuptial agreements unless they were like celebrities or movie stars. Now your average person is getting a prenuptial agreement. So do you feel like it's right to get a prenuptial agreement? And will you get a prenuptial agreement? Even with your regular 9-to-5, because you can, at the end of the day, you can get a prenuptial agreement even with your regular 9-to-5. Like, you don't have to be making crazy money. This is my point. You don't have to be making crazy.
Well, talking to me, you know.
My point is, you don't have to be making crazy money in order to get a prenuptial agreement.
But I think if you just have any assets that you want to protect, and not to say like it's hard to go into a marriage thinking I want to protect my assets from my wife because it's not the right train of thought. But
it's not.
You have to be realistic. Sometimes, the honeymoon period runs out. Sometimes it doesn't work, and when that happens, and we all know we got to call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. A woman scorned, right? If something happens like that. And I'm not going to even put it on a woman. It goes both ways.
I was getting ready to say, dudes are petty too. Let's be honest. They're petty too. Don't act like they're above it all.
That's a fact. We saw what happened with Mary J. Blige and her ex-dude.
Yes.
He played the role of the I get it. Disgruntled. When you're emotionally disgruntled, things get nasty.
Things can.
So all I'm saying is, regardless of how strong the love is, just protect yourself. If you got assets that you want to protect, just protect them. And I feel like you should be able to have that conversation with your significant other also, okay?
Yeah, I think it's a good conversation to have. I definitely think you should be open to have the conversation. Again, I wouldn't want to go into something thinking like, oh, this is going to end or this is, potentially not going to work out at a certain amount of time. Because even I know some people do like 10-year prenuptial agreements. So if we go beyond 10 years, then the prenuptial agreement that we had is null and void, so it doesn't apply. I know some people who include like if you cheat on your spouse or if you are cheating, if you are found cheating on your spouse, then they get a certain amount of money. It's certain things. I think sometimes it goes a little too deep and a little too far.
If you get caught cheating, you get money. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. If we have to write clauses like that into our prenup, we don't need to be getting married.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's ridiculous. If I catch you cheating, you got to pay me. You got to give me 10 bands.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's true.
That's stupid.
Well, I don't think it's stupid. I don't go into people's marriages because whatever works for them works for them.
True.
That's up to them, and that is what they have signed up for, and they both knowingly signed up for that. So my whole point is, I think that I wouldn't mind signing. Me personally, I wouldn't mind signing a prenuptial agreement, but I think I would just want both of us to be in agreement on what we expect out of marriage and how we are supposed to be moving forward. Because at the end of the day, I don't want to get divorced. I want to stay married. Like, I want to be in it, okay? Heavy love type of situation. I'm 50 years in, okay? I want to, like, go into it with that type of mindset. And so even after, like, it's not a big deal. I think that everything is a conversation. And what is your intention with this prenup? Like, what are you trying to secure? Because at the end of the day, whatever that person, my spouse, got before me, that's yours. Whatever I got before you, that's still mine. You know what I mean? I think that that's only right. Now, what we build together, that's different. And I think that is...
But that's where it gets sticky, because how many beats did she make? How many sessions did she engineer? How much, like with Michael Jordan's wife, right? How many free throws did she shoot?
Right.
Now, on the flip side, women will say, well, listen, he got them kids, and she made sure his house was in order. She made sure his kids were raised and taken care of. So while he's doing a business, this woman is balancing everything out.
Right, but you also don't know what she did behind the scenes. You know, was she a part of these business deals? Was she out there hustling for him? She could have been out there hustling for him while he's practicing his free throws. While he's out there practicing his free throws, she's over there handling his business, making sure he's getting paid for all those free throws that he's throwing, for all those shoes that he's selling. You never know what exactly she was doing. So my point is, until we know all the facts, don't just discount somebody else, whether it is a man or a woman. Don't just discount them and be like, oh, well, you're not out there making those free throws. You're not out there making those beats.
You wasn't shooting
yeah, of course I wasn't, but I was making room for you to have the opportunity to be free in order to do that. I was freeing your other stuff up.
Was you really, though?
I don't know, honestly. Like, I don't know what they were doing. Like, yeah. I don't know what they were doing, but they could have been.
She could have been doing more behind the scenes.
She could have been doing so much more behind the scenes to have him feel fancy free to be like, hey, I'm up at 3 a.m. I want to make a beat. Okay, go ahead.
Or he having him feel fancy free. No, he could have busted his ass and put the work in, and now he's able to.
My parents, like, my dad was a pastor, but my mom was right there with him. Like, yes, he was getting a lot of the shine, but she was reading documents. She was making sure, you know, he was in his word. He was studying. He was going to school. He was actually, and she was pushing him in a different type of way. So, where are my residuals for that?
Well, you know, you get a little something.
See, exactly. That's my point. That's my point. Because nobody says anything about the person who is pushing that other person. Yeah, you see that person shining, but what's behind him or her?
Fellas, hey, this is a conversation that needs to be had. Don't wait till you up 800 million and then try to figure this out.
And ladies, don't wait until you're up 800 million, okay?
You know
to have a conversation with your men as well, because I think it goes both ways. Because ladies are out here getting theirs as well, okay? Don't ever play the ladies like, fellas, y'all better get y'all stuff secure. No, my ladies, okay?
Hey,
all my ladies out as well, do the same thing. Go see your lawyer before you get married to anybody and see what the realistic journey is like. So all in all, thoughts?